Hey there, everyone. From reckless drivers causing devastating crashes to chaotic accidents involving out-of-control trucks, today's video covers it all. Join us as we dive into real-life traffic incidents and discover essential tips for staying safe on the road. Fasten your seatbelts. Let's get into it.
Dramatic dashcam video out of upstate New York where a crash caused a massive pileup. You can see a truck plow through a line of cars. One of those cars actually caught fire after slamming into the highway divider. You can see bystanders rushing to help a woman trapped inside. They were able to put out the fire and pull her to safety. She somehow managed to make it out with only some minor cuts and bruises. 10 people were sent to the hospital following this crash. No one was killed. On the freeway, the SUV changed lanes, trying to get away from the pursuing police and lost control, hitting the median, other vehicles, ultimately flipping over. Law enforcement moved in fast to take the suspects into custody. The 5 juveniles, who ranged in age from 12 to 16, were taken to a children's hospital, where 4 were treated for minor injuries and 1 was in serious condition. The identities of the minors have not been made public.
The massive car sped down the street like a missile, its tires screeching as it barely missed a bystander before crashing into a row of houses with a thunderous impact. Debris flew everywhere, and the neighborhood shook from the force of the collision. Emergency responders arrived swiftly, searching for survivors in the wreckage. Tragically, 4 people, including the driver, lost their lives, leaving the community in shock and mourning. Many people are quick to blame the driver for moving forward just before the red light, assuming it was merely a case of impatience or misjudgment. However, if you take a closer look at the footage, you'll notice that the massive tractor trailer didn't just creep forward. This single act set off a catastrophic chain reaction, turning the entire intersection into a scene of chaos and destruction. As the vehicle barreled through the red light, unsuspecting vehicles crossing legally had no time to react. In mere seconds, the deafening sound of metal crumpling filled the air, followed by the eruption of flames as fuel tanks ruptured and ignited. Thick black smoke billowed into the sky, and the once busy roadway became a fiery battleground. What started as one reckless decision quickly escalated into a devastating disaster, leaving behind a trail of wreckage, panic, and tragedy. Imagine a police officer walking toward a parked car, his breath steady, but his mind alert. To him, this is just another routine check, something he's done countless times before. But fate is already in motion, and he has no idea what awaits on the other side of that door. Car footage captured the moment a vehicle lost control, slammed into an ambulance, and crashed up.
Will he be able to flip it over?
Tragically, the passenger did not survive. The 26-year-old driver now faces charges of vehicular manslaughter. A speeding vehicle lost control and crashed into another car parked beside a filling station, sending a loud screech echoing through the area. Onlookers turned in shock as the impact jolted the parked vehicle, causing a moment of chaos. The drivers, shaken but conscious, quickly assessed the damage while concerned passers-by rushed over to help. Fortunately, no major injuries were reported, but the tension in the air was thick as people gathered, relieved that the situation hadn't turned into something worse. When you possess a highly valuable vehicle, but you lack the necessary maturity and awareness to drive it in an accountable manner. Right there he goes. An intoxicated driver, lost in his impaired judgment, mistook the barrier for an obstacle in his way, an enemy he needed to defeat. With reckless determination, he accelerated, ramming straight into it. The loud crash startled nearby pedestrians, who turned to see the aftermath of his misguided attempt. A fuel tanker, possibly losing control or experiencing brake failure, veered off its path and slammed into a parked car by the roadside. The impact was devastating, shattering metal and sending shock waves through the area. Within moments, sparks ignited a fire, quickly spreading as flames engulfed both vehicles. Thick, black smoke billowed into the sky. causing panic among bystanders who scrambled for safety. Emergency services were called immediately, racing against time to contain the inferno before it spread further. It was a terrifying scene, a stark reminder of how quickly disaster can strike. Amidst the chaos, a distant rumble signaled an approaching hazard. A train collided with a car on the tracks, causing devastation. Surviving passengers and emergency responders witnessed the horrific accident. Out of nowhere, a lorry barreled forward, its tires screeching as it slammed into a car with terrifying force. Metal crumpled, glass shattered, and the impact sent shockwaves through the air. Onlookers froze in shock, the sudden crash turning a quiet moment into chaos in an instant. Racing down the road, the wind roaring past, there was barely time to react as a car, veering off its track, appeared out of nowhere. In a heartbeat, metal met metal in a violent collision, the deafening crash shattering the air. Everyone went about their day, believing the shop was a safe haven, until out of nowhere a car came barreling in, crashing straight into the stall. The impact sent goods flying, shelves toppling, and a wave of shock rippling through the area. For a moment, silence hung in the air before people rushed to check on those inside. Miraculously, despite the wreckage, no lives were lost, just shaken hearts and a reminder of how quickly normal can turn to chaos. Yo! This is why you need to keep your eyes on the cars ahead, no matter how dark or uncertain the road may seem. Staying focused allows you to anticipate sudden stops, unexpected turns, and potential dangers before they become a threat. In the darkest moments, when visibility is low and the path ahead feels unclear, maintaining your attention on those ahead of you can be the difference between safety and disaster. My God! Look at how these cars are piled up like placards, stacked over as if some unseen force carelessly tossed them aside. Twisted metal, shattered glass, and an eerie silence. Just take a look at this car crashing straight into the filling station. The driver must be either lost in thought or recklessly overspeeding. Either way, this didn't end well. Flames sparked, fuel spilled. This is a disaster that has been wanting to unfold.
Car camera in Texas, an 18-wheeler flips off of an expressway, lands upside down, bursts into flames. Look at that. According to police, the truck and another vehicle collided, which sent the truck over the side. The 71-year-old driver did not survive that. Wow.
Terrifying moment car Kathy's fire after being rear-ended by cement truck. A police officer came to the aid of a woman trapped in a burning car after she was rear-ended by a cement truck on a highway in Mesa, Arizona on Tuesday, February 18th. This was an absolutely shocking moment.
Oh my God.
A car collided with another vehicle due to reckless driving, sending debris flying and causing chaos on the road. Witnesses watched in horror as the impact left both cars severely damaged, with loud screeches and the sound of metal crunching filling the air. Fortunately, despite the severity of the crash, no deaths were recorded, and emergency responders arrived swiftly to assess the situation and provide assistance. This footage captures a dramatic sports car accident, showing the vehicle losing control and crashing in a sudden, intense moment. The impact was severe, with the car skidding across the road and debris scattering, creating a tense scene. However, despite the shocking nature of the crash, no one was hurt during the process. It is just a reminder of the risks of high-speed driving